My child, stop whatever you are doing for a moment and listen to me with your whole heart. This is not random. Do not rush past these words and do not assume they are for someone else. I place this before you at this exact moment because I have reached into the stream of your day and set my hand upon your shoulder to turn your face toward me. You are not here by accident. Heaven has leaned low and aligned this second with the ache you have been carrying. The timing is not accidental. The alignment is not coincidental. And the nearness you feel even now is not imagined. This is a divine appointment, written with your name before you learned the language of waiting. I am speaking to you now as the one who numbered your days, as the father who watched the pathways you chose and the back roads you took when hope felt too thin for company. I drew you here because I have to tell you a secret that will change the way you remember your story. What I stopped was not punishment. It was rescue from what could not carry your calling. Hear me, what paused was not a verdict against you. It was a shield wrapped around you. The doors that did not open when you pounded on them were not a courtroom gavel declaring you unworthy. They were my hands catching you before a floor that looked like marble gave way to dust. I am not speaking to create fear in you. I am speaking to awaken you and to lift the weight of confusion you have worn like a cloak. The fog you called failure, the silence you called rejection, the slowness you called being left behind, I am lifting it off you now. I will not let you leave this moment unchanged, because this is the second I scheduled to loosen the knot you could not untie. Breathe, beloved. Inhale the peace I am releasing. Exhale the story that has kept you braced for blows I never sent. Before we go further, open your heart and agree with what I am saying. If this word witnesses in your spirit, let it travel press like as your amen. Subscribe to stay under these timely confirmations. Share it with the one who feels late, and in the comments write, I choose your timing. Lord, do not underestimate the power of your agreement. Your yes draws the blueprint of heaven closer to the ground beneath your feet. Listen to me closely. I arranged this precise moment because I saw you approaching the wrong thresholds with a good heart and an exhausted soul. I saw opportunities that glittered like crowns but were forged too thin to hold the weight of what I have placed within you. I saw partnerships that promised quick elevation but would have compromised the voice. I've been tuning in you like an instrument for a symphony not yet heard. I saw rooms that loved your talent but would have starved your integrity. I saw timelines that applauded your hustle but would have hollowed your heart. So I stepped in, and love looked like delay. Mercy sounded like not yet. Protection felt like a closed door, and you mistook my kindness for distance. I am here to end that misunderstanding. My child, when I withhold, I am not withdrawing. I am reweaving what you cannot see. When I slow you, I am not sidelining you. I am sinking you with a cadence that will carry you farther than adrenaline ever could. When I do not answer in the hour you expect, I am orchestrating a timing that spares you from victories that would become cages. Not a moment before that, and not a moment after. This is how I steward what I have entrusted to you. Heaven has leaned low in this conversation. Angels bear witness to the turning that is happening as you hear me. The courts of heaven have recorded this appointment, not to pressure you, but to mark the day your heart shed a lie and made room for rest. You thought you were late. I say you are right on time. You thought your story was shrinking. I say I have been stretching your capacity quietly, like roots in deep soil, out of sight but never out of my hand. This is my hand upon your timeline. This is my voice, redirecting your interpretation. This is the moment where confusion loosens and trust grows a new spine. You have asked me, why did you let that opportunity pass? And I answer, because it would have celebrated you for what I never called you to become. You have asked, why did you not remove the weight? And I answer, because the weight removed what would have removed you. You've asked why now? And I answer, because now you can carry what earlier would have cracked. Do not resist the comfort I offer, because it arrived wearing the uniform of interruption. I interrupt to save, I pause to prepare, I pivot to protect. Today I am shifting the label on your past season. From delay to deliverance, from detour to design, from silence to setup. I am opening your ears to hear the tone beneath my not yet, a tone that has always been love, always been wisdom, always been me. Let your shoulders fall, let the inner vigil end, lay down the stopwatch you have held against your own soul. I have not been late to you, my beloved, I have been precise. I have not overlooked you, I have overseen you. I have not abandoned you in the hallway. I have been fortifying you for the right door that will not collapse when you step through it. That door exists, and I hold the key, and even now you can feel the subtle click of alignment as truth enters where panic used to sit. Stay with me in this. Do not turn away. This cannot wait another moment because your heart is ready to hear what shame tried to drown out. I have been rescuing you in the language of delay, and I will show you, step by step, how deeply I have known your ache and how thoroughly I have answered it. Lean closer, my child. I have seen more than you think, and I am here to tell you why. Listen closely, my child. I saw the nights you hid your tears, the nights you pressed your face into a pillow so the sound would not travel, the nights you rinsed your eyes with water so the morning would not betray what the midnight carried. I watched you tiptoe around your own sorrow so the ones you love would not mistake your ache for anger. I know the nights when you wiped away tears so no one would notice. And I know the mornings when you stood up while your hope sat down, when your feet found the floor before your faith found words, when you buttoned the day closed over a heart still untied. I was there in the small rooms where you spoke softly to me because you feared your hope had grown too thin to bear the weight of your own voice. I heard the prayers you whispered when even prayer felt like paper in the rain. I caught the fragments you were too tired to finish, the sighs that slipped between sentences, the pause where a plea should have been. You thought you were underspeaking. I heard you fully. You thought your words were weak. I read the ache beneath them like a letter written in tears. You thought you were alone. I sat on the edge of your night and counted every tremble as if it were a song. I saw you force a smile to protect others from your storm, to keep your house from flooding with questions you had no strength to answer, to shield tender hearts from the weather inside you. I watched you laugh at the right moments, so no one would worry, serve past your own emptiness so no one would feel deprived, show up for celebrations, while your own confetti stayed sealed in a box you weren't sure you'd ever open. None of it was invisible to me. Not the way you rearranged plans to honor peace in your home. Not the way you swallowed a sharp word and chose kindness. Not the way you clung to honesty when compromise could have bought you applause. I gathered every quiet yes you made in the dark, every noble no that cost you speed, every patient wait that no one applauded. And I heard your questions, the ones you were afraid to release in full volume. Did I miss it? Did you forget me? Was that door my only chance? Am I the one who loses what others easily gain? My beloved, I refuse to let those questions write your conclusion. I let you ask them because honesty is not rebellion, it is intimacy, and the questions that shook you could not shake me. I cupped them in my hands, the way a parent holds marbles a child cannot carry, and I said, I will keep these until you can hold my answers, without dropping your joy. You have never been unseen. I have tracked the routes your thoughts take as you try to be brave. I have counted the steps from bed to sink on mornings where breath felt like a chore. I have stood in grocery aisles with you when a simple comment reopened an old bruise. I have sat in the driver's seat beside you when the red light felt like a verdict against your life. I have been present in the shower where the water could not disguise a grief that arrived without appointment. I have not missed a single flinch, not a single breath you held, not a single night you stared at the ceiling and negotiated with your own heart for one more day of patience. Hear me, what you called thin prayer, I call pure. What you called weak faith, I call seed placed in good soil. What you called being passed over, I call being preserved. I have collected your tears as currency and poured them back as rain on the field of your future. I have stacked your whispered trust like bricks and built a shelter inside you where storms cannot rewrite your name. I have read your silence as a psalm and your waiting as worship. Your pain did not disqualify you, it qualified your compassion. Your restraint when bitterness beckoned did not go unnoticed. It became a guardrail I forged from your yes. Even when you suspected I was far, I was closer than your pulse, careful not to bruise a tender place by speaking louder than your healing could bear. I was not absent, I was gentle. I was not indifferent, I was safeguarding softness that cynicism would have devoured. I have been answering you in love, not always with explanations, but with nearness. With the right no, with the quieting of a door that would have devoured your peace, with the hidden strengthening that kept your heart from hardening while you waited. So breathe now, let me wash the salt from your eyes with this assurance. I see you, I have seen you, I will keep seeing you. The corners of your life that felt dim to you have never been dim to me. The ache that felt like it disappeared into darkness has been gathered, counted, named, and answered in love. I am lifting the label unseen off your shoulders and clothing you in the truth that fits you, chosen, noticed, held. And as I hold you, I am also holding the pen over your timeline, refusing to let the questions, "Did I miss it?" or "Did you forget me?" have the final word. My final word is this, beloved: you are not forgotten, you are not late, and you will not be lost. I have watched over your tears like a gardener watches over rain, and I will make them grow what you could not grow by striving. Stay with me. The secret I promised is opening, and you will soon see how every hidden ache was met by a rescue already in motion. Lean closer, my child. The secret I promised is opening now like a letter sealed with my kindness. What I stopped was not punishment. It was rescue from what could not carry your calling. Hear me with your whole heart. When I set my hand against certain paths, I did not set my heart against you. I guarded what I have planted in you. I closed the door that dazzled your eyes but would have starved your spirit. I withheld the yes that would have fractured your future. I placed my weight on the hinge, not because you were unworthy, but because the room on the other side was unworthy of the treasure I am shaping in you. There were tables that sparkled with invitation, rooms that echoed with your name, voices that promised speed, applause that promised relief, but beneath the shine, the foundation was brittle. The water was sweetened, but not living, and the cost would have been your quiet. I saw the unseen contracts, the smile that would have been rented, the peace that would have been collateral, the voice that would have been tuned to crowds louder than my whisper. So I stepped between you and the wrong harvest, not to embarrass you, not to humiliate your hope, but to rescue you from momentum that would have carried you into a storm you were never meant to sail. If I had allowed what you asked at the time you asked, the weight of it would have crushed what I was building within you. My child, timing is a language of love. The fruit you desired was not evil. The season was not ready. The platform you sought was not inherently wrong. The pillars beneath your soul were still curing like fresh concrete, and sudden weight would have cracked what should become your strength. I would not let your future be poured into a mold that could not hold its shape. I would not let your name be attached to rooms that would try to rename you. I would not let your hunger for belonging make you belong to what would starve you. Listen to the tenderness inside, my no. When you pounded on that door with a brave face and a breaking heart, I heard the ache behind the request. I saw the tired places that believed speed would heal what only presence can heal. I knew the headlines you imagined would finally silence the lie that called you overlooked. But I am not a father who uses you to fix your feelings. I am the father who heals your feelings so I can safely increase your influence. I am not in a hurry to put you where your character has not yet learned how to rest. I am not indifferent to your dreams. I am fiercely protective of the dreamer who carries them. Let me tell you what my rescue looked like while you called it delay. I moved people out of your orbit who liked your gift, but not your growth. I rerouted an offer that sounded like home, but would have required you to exile your integrity. I let an answer stay quiet so your discernment could get loud. I pulled you back from an intersection where flattery had the green light, but wisdom had the right of way. I hid you in plain sight so your roots could go down far enough that when the wind of visibility comes, you will sway but not snap. Every seeming setback tucked you under my wing, while I retrained your steps to the rhythm of peace. Understand me. Delay did not diminish you. It defended the destiny I entrusted to you. You felt smaller because the room did not open when you knocked, but I was enlarging you in places that applause cannot reach. I was fortifying mercy in you so success would not make you harsh. I was teaching you the strength of saying no so your yes would be holy. I was weaving wisdom into your impulses so opportunity would not outpace obedience. I was convincing shame that it could no longer speak for you. I was building a life that could carry a blessing without the blessing carrying you away. Consider how a lifeguard rescues sometimes by holding a panicked swimmer still. The stillness feels like drowning when you crave motion. But I would not let you thrash your way into deeper water. I anchored you while I cleared the currents you could not see. I did not let you take the shortcut that cut through your soul. I let certain circles misread you so they would not be able to own you later. I allowed the silence to stretch long enough that you learned to hear me without noise. I removed crutches so your legs could learn their own strength. I closed doors gently over your fingers so you would never again reach for handles that burn. And yes, There were moments when you thought, but it looked right. Hear me. The paint was fresh, but the beams were hollow. The welcome was warm, but the contracts were cold. The opportunity honored your ability, but would have ignored your becoming. The path promised momentum, but would have misaligned your mission. I examined every angle and said, not yet, not there, not with them, because I could see the chapter you could not. I could see the strain after the photo. I could see the price behind the promise. I could see the drift of your heart if affirmation replaced affection. I choose your wholeness over your hurry every time. Let this settle like oil on a bruise. I withheld to heal. I delayed to defend. I said no to what would have said no to you in a louder voice later. My child, I do not punish you with obscurity. I protect you with precision. I am not stingy with your future. I am careful with your foundation. The hours you thought wasted were the hours where hope learned endurance, where joy learned how to return after disappointment, where your identity learned to live without an audience, where your ears learned the pitch of my peace. All of this so that when I open the right door, you will not hand it the keys to your worth. Do not despise what saved you. Rename it now. Call that closed door a shield. Call that unanswered email a mercy. Call that lingering silence a classroom. Call that canceled plan a covering. Call that exit a rescue. I will teach you to read my handwriting on your history until the timeline that once accused you now testifies for you. The enemy would have preferred you to sprint untrained into a victory that would become a prison. I preferred you prepared, so the victory would become a vineyard where many can eat and rest in the shade of what I grew in you. And hear this with joy. I have not withheld forever. I have withheld until alignment, until protection, until identity, until your yes can breathe, until your no is holy, until peace, not pressure, is the speed of your steps. I have guarded your destiny like a door the wind cannot slam. I have measured the moment so that when you step into a place that partners with who you truly are. You will not need to beg the right door to stay open. It will be held by my hand, and your feet will know they are home. Listen closely, my child. Some rooms look perfect to your eyes, the light flattering, the smiles warm, the language fluent in everything you long to hear, and still, I did not let you live there, because love taught me to measure beyond the paint. Applause is not the same as alignment. A stage can be bright and still be brittle. A welcome can be loud and still be thin. There were places that praised your presence but could not protect your purpose. Platforms that loved your performance but would have pressed your soul into shapes it was never meant to hold. I would not let you hang your heart on nails driven into soft wood. I read the blueprints beneath the carpets while you were reading the captions on the walls. I examined what the eye cannot catch in a quick tour. Motives bundled in compliments, timelines disguised as honor, expectations dressed as partnership, budgets that balanced only if your rest was subtracted, friendships that smiled in public but kept calculators under the table. I saw floorboards hidden under thick rugs, boards that looked sturdy until the full weight of your calling stood upon them. I found hairline fractures in the beams, resentments that would surface after the first no, control that would only feel like care until your convictions required space, loyalty that would last as long as you met unspoken quotas. So I barred you from floors that would have given way. I pressed my hand against the hinge. I turned you gently from thresholds that would have cheered you in and blamed you when the structure failed. Do not call my caution a critique of your worth. When the door did not submit to your knocking, you accused yourself. If I had been more, if I had done better, if I had arrived sooner. Hear me, the closure was not a verdict. It was a vow. I vow that your purpose would not be placed on scaffolding that sways with the wind of opinion. I vowed that your peace would not be collateral for quick advancement. I vowed that your tenderness would not be traded for access. The closeness you felt was me holding the perimeter around a destiny that deserved soundness underfoot. There were tables that wanted your fruit without your roots, circles that wanted your gift without your growth, rooms that celebrated what you could produce while slowly subtracting who you are. They would have kept your name prominent and your soul privatized, applauded your output while starving your inner life, valued your reach while shrinking your rest. They were prepared to use your voice to amplify their vision, but unprepared to make room for the holiness of your no, the rhythm of your healing, the pace of your peace. My child, I did not rescue you from sin in order to deliver you into systems that sanctify speed and call it success. I did not teach you, my whisper so that noise could become your shepherd. I am the one who knows how much weight your anointing carries, and I build with that weight in mind. What is truly yours will not splinter under you. The right door will not ask you to shrink to fit. It will widen as you walk, because I designed it to carry both you and the name you carry. The right room will not panic at your boundaries. It will honor them as proof that honor lives there. The right partnership will not require you to mute me to keep it. It will become clearer the more you listen. The right assignment will not demand a version of you I did not craft. It will draw out the precise courage, compassion, and clarity I have been shaping in secret. You wondered why I let smaller chances pass when your heart felt so ready. Because they were smaller in structure, not in visibility. A tree can look majestic and still be hollow. A house can photograph beautifully and still be unsafe. I am not sentimental about scenery. I am faithful to foundation. I do not place your future on rented beams. I do not authorize rooms that can only adore you if they can own you. I do not endorse tables that become altars to exhaustion. I am father and builder. I insist on stone where others accept straw. So when you remember the hallway, the no, the silence after the smile, rename it now. Call it care, call it engineering, call it the mercy of a builder who refuses cosmetic progress. Refuse the lie that says, you are not enough. Enough for what collapse? Enough for whom voices that would have rewritten your value at the first tremor? I withheld you from collapse because I am committed to endurance. I turned you from brittle places because I am devoted to your becoming. I steadied your feet in the waiting because I was preparing the ground where you will not have to spend all your strength surviving the floor beneath you. Trust me to read the blueprints in this next stretch as well. When I lead you forward, you will feel it in your bones, the soundness underneath, the absence of scramble to stay loved, the ease of obedience, the comfort of being fully seen without being slowly consumed. There will still be work, but not war against your own soul. There will still be growth, but not at the expense of your gentleness. There will still be doors, but they will not demand your identity as an entry fee. I am guiding you to rooms that do not just welcome you, they were made for you, measured against the weight of your calling, sealed to carry my presence as you carry my name. And when you stand there, you will know every closed door behind you was the careful hand of a father who builds for storms, not just for sunny photos. Every no was proof that you are kept, not cast off. Every hallway was a shelter, not a shame. Listen closely, my child, and let this settle where hurry has lived too long. I withheld because I love you, and every delay in your life has been a deliberate act of love, not neglect. This was not me forgetting you or leaving you behind. This was me guarding you with precision. Not a moment before that, and not a moment after. This is how I move when I am stewarding a life that must endure. I am not a clock watcher. I am the Lord of timing. I am not interested in making you quick. I am devoted to making you whole. So I paused what would have pressed you. I slowed what would have scattered you. I timed what would have trained you. And I covered what would have cost you too much, too soon. Hear me. I was aligning the right people, the provision, and the pace. Heaven's choreography required your patience. You saw the stillness and called it stuck. I saw the stagehands moving behind the curtain and called it setup. I was shifting names on seats so you would not sit next to sabotage disguised as excitement. I was waking a mentor you had not met, softening a gatekeeper you could not see, healing a friend whose counsel will soon be the thread that keeps your courage from unraveling. I was releasing an idea into the earth that needed to be born before your assignment could land. I was turning the heart of someone who once misread you so they could now bless you without agenda. I was moving pieces you don't even know belong to your story, because your story is not a solo, it is a symphony, and I refused to let you enter on the wrong bar. Provision was being prepared, to not just numbers on paper, but supply shaped to your soul. I arranged resources that will not demand your rest as payment. I gathered favor that would not fracture your boundaries. I taught your hand stewardship so sudden increase would not become sudden pressure. I trained your appetite so you would not confuse opportunity with oxygen. I set you in seasons where manna fell just enough for the day, not because I'm stingy, but because I was fasting you from the panic that hoards. I adjusted your pace until peace became the metronome of your decisions, until you could feel the difference between adrenaline and anointing, until your steps could keep time with my heart. I did not want your yes to run faster than your breath, or your calendar to outrun your communion. I wanted the blessing to flow through you, not bury you. And I severed counterfeit bonds, because I will not allow cotton threads to pretend they are covenant. I cut cords of flattery that felt like family, invitations that sounded like honor but required a rented version of you to attend. I permitted silence where noise once made you feel valuable, so that my whisper could become your compass. I let admiration cool so you could see its conditions. I let certain group chats go quiet so your discernment would come alive. I allowed you to stand alone long enough to realize you were not alone, you were with me. I stripped the sugar from voices that sweetened your fear of missing out, and I cleared the frequencies until the pitch of my peace became unmistakable. You began to recognize how my guidance moves, not by pressure, not by panic, not by the tyranny of urgent people, but by a steady rest that says, this is the way, walk in it. Child, timing is not a trick, it is a language. I am a conductor, and rests are part of the music. The downbeat that releases you is measured against a score you cannot yet see. If I had let you rush the entrance, you would have played beautifully at the wrong time, and the room would have clapped while your calling went off key. So I held your cue. I tuned your ear to hear beyond applause. I kept you in the prelude, where scales sound repetitive but skill is written into your wrists. I let you feel the ache of not yet so you would never again trade now for noise. I wanted you to carry a rhythm that crowds cannot speed and loneliness cannot slow, because the songs I will sing through you require a heart unhurried enough to hear me mid-measure. Protection was also at work, protection from snares dressed as shortcuts, from opportunities with interest rates that would have charged your integrity, from partnerships that would have owned your voice with small print, from platforms that would have demanded your silence as rent. I saw the storm behind the headline, the fatigue hidden in the fine print, the drift of your heart if visibility arrived before vocabulary, the way your tenderness would have hardened to survive a pace I never asked you to keep. I shielded you from being applauded into amnesia. I spared you from learning to need what would have needed you weak. I intervened where comparison tried to become your counselor. I would not let you be discipled by urgency. I know you measured days on a calendar while I measured courage in your chest. I know you tracked applications while I trained your affections. I know you watched their announcements while I watched your arteries for a clog called bitterness and cleared it in intercession you did not see. I know you counted birthday candles while I counted how many no's you could finally say without apology. I know you asked me for speed. I gave you stamina. I know you asked me for platforms. I gave you peace. Because when the door I open swings, it will not be your hustle that keeps it. It will be your health. Consider how I moved while you waited. I rethreaded old grief so it would not unravel you under new weight. I taught you to return to rest when pressure rose, to breathe in the middle of big rooms as easily as you breathe in small ones. I let you practice boundaries in places where failure was cheap so you would not pay expensive tuition later. I allowed you to be misjudged without retaliation so humility could anchor you when honor arrives. I showed you that harvest belongs to the patient, that pruning precedes fruit, that yeast works hidden but changes everything, that concrete cures slowly to carry the future without cracking. All of this while heaven arranged the stage and you learned my rhythm. So hear me again and let your shoulders fall. The pause was purposeful. I was not late. I was aligning. I was not silent. I was rehearsing you for the sound you will carry. I was not withholding to punish. I was withholding to protect the you that you are finally becoming. Not a moment before that, and not a moment after this, is the cadence of a father who knows your frame and loves your future. When I release you, you will feel the timing in your bones. Doors will open without you prying. People will appear without you proving. Provision will meet you without you bleeding. Your pace will be sustainable because it will be mine. And when you step, it will not be a scramble. It will be a sync. Your heart with my heart, your feet with my beat, your story with the story I have been writing all along. Therefore, do not curse the held breath. Name it blessing. Do not resent the rest. Call it rehearsal. Do not mourn the quiet. Recognize the compass hidden in it. I have been arranging sight lines and sound checks, rehearsing cues and lighting grace, so you are not dazzled into danger. I have been training your yes to stay holy and your no to stay kind. I have been setting the stage so that when the curtain lifts, what appears to be sudden will only be the unveiling of what love prepared. Wait with me a little longer if I ask it. Move with me the instant peace says go. In both, know this. I withheld to align, I timed to protect, I paused to prepare, so that what I open now will hold you, and what holds you will honor me. My child, stop whatever you are doing for a moment, and listen to me with your whole heart. There is a sentence buried inside you that has been shaping how you see me, how you see yourself, how you read the quiet, and I will not let you carry it into the door I am opening. Name it with me now so I can uproot it. God left me. Say it, not to agree with it, but so we can put light on the lie that has taken up sacred space. I am here to remove it tenderly, completely. Hear me. I was near in the quiet, nearer than your breath, nearer than the pulse in your wrist, nearer than your own thoughts could find words. You looked for me in noise and came to believe that silence equals absence. But silence, in my hand, becomes sanctuary. I was not far. I was hiding you under the shadow of my wing. Listen closely. You learned to equate presence with chatter because people who were supposed to stay stopped calling, and those who once promised forever wrote you out of their calendar without explanation. You mapped their leaving onto me and called it theology. But I am not a man that I should abandon. I do not ghost. I guard. I do not withdraw to punish. I shelter to protect. When the sound of heaven thinned and the room felt empty, I had drawn the curtains against a storm you could not see. When you felt walled off, I had become your wall. When you could not trace my hand, you were wrapped in it. What felt like neglect was actually nurture. I was growing you in a greenhouse of quiet where roots go deep and leaves learn to face light even when clouds pass. Hear the replacement I am writing over your story. I was not ignored, I was insulated. Say it, until Trinibrid sits where fear used to sit. Insulated from voices that would have named your worth in numbers. From urgencies that would have rewired your nervous system to call panic holy. From invitations that would have given you a platform while stealing your peace. I padded your path with stillness so the fragile work inside you could set. I lowered the volume so your ear could learn my pitch. I thinned the crowd so your heart could stop scanning for safety and start finding it in me. I let the phone stay silent so you would learn that conversation with me could be the loudest strength in the room. Forgive the version of you that misread the season. Forgive the you who took days of quiet and wrote a verdict in capital letters. Unwanted, unseen, unchosen. That version of you was not failing. That version was being fathered. They were interpreting with the only lenses they had. They were protecting you the best they knew how by expecting less so disappointment would not hurt as much. Do not shame the survivor that your soul had to be for a time. Thank them for their vigilance, and then let them rest while I teach you a new vigilance. The holy watchfulness that scans, not for danger but for peace. Release the self-accusation that says, if I had been better, God would have come sooner. My child, I was there, and I am here, and I am not measuring you by how fast you learn to recognize me in the whisper. I am celebrating that you stayed. I am honoring that you kept showing up with your tired prayers. I am touching the bruise the lie left and speaking oil into it. Let me show you what my nurture looked like while your fear named it neglect. I cupped your anxiety in my palm and kept it from hardening into cynicism. I took the sting out of betrayals by slowing your steps until forgiveness could be formed honestly and not just spoken as performance. I loosened the grip of comparison by removing your daily sightline to those who stoked it, not as punishment but as detox. I reduced obligations disguised as belonging so Sabbath could find you. I planted mentors in your future and made space in your present so you would have margin to receive them. I was parenting you out of hypervigilance and into holy vigilance, away from self-salvation and into trust, out of proving and into peace. Unlearn with me now the reflex that flinches at quiet. The old reflex says, silence is a sentence. Truth says, silence is a shelter. The old reflex says, I have been left. Truth says, I have been loved too carefully to be rushed. The old reflex says, no one is coming. Truth says, I am carried by the one who already came and is here now. The old reflex rehearses the calendar, highlighting the days that felt empty. Truth reads the same days and sees a father bending close, changing dressings on wounds nobody else noticed, rewiring narratives that would have sent you sprinting past the very rest you begged me for. I am not speaking to create fear in you. I am speaking to awaken you to the tenderness you missed, while your eyes were trained on a door that did not open. Place your hand over your heart and listen not to your anxiety's forecast, but to the steady evidence that you have been kept. You are still here. Hope did not drown. It learned to float. Faith did not shatter. It shed its excess and became strong enough to hold you without dramatic proof. Your boundaries, once paper thin, have become kindness that knows how to say no. Your discernment, once fogged by need, became clear as morning air. These are not the marks of abandonment. These are the fingerprints of nurture. I am sending my scissors into the seams of each false sentence that has been stitched into your soul by absence and delay. Where the words unwanted, forgotten, and left behind have been embroidered by old pain, I am unthreading them now. You will feel things loosen that you thought were part of your identity. The need to over-explain, the habit of laughing your ache away, the compulsion to run when kindness knocks, the suspicion that any good thing is a setup for loss. As I unthread lies, I stitch truth with my own hand. Kept, cherished, chosen, carried, hidden to be held, not hidden to be harmed. This is how you will partner with me in unlearning. When your mind says, "He is far," answer with, "You are nearer than my breath." When your day feels empty, tell your day, "I am not ignored, I am insulated." When the old panic rises because the phone is quiet or the inbox is bare, breathe and say, "Silence is a shelter, not a sentence." And when shame hisses, "You misheard, you misread, you wasted time," speak kindness over yourself. I forgive the version of me that did not know better yet. I was being fathered, and I am still being fathered. Your tongue partners with heaven when it agrees with what I am saying. Your physiology will feel the shift as you choose peace over the old adrenaline that masqueraded as purpose. Do not turn away from this moment, beloved. I will not let you leave it unchanged. The lie that has bled your confidence and bent your posture is losing its voice even now. Let your shoulders fall. Let your jaw unclench. Let your breath lengthen. This is not the stillness of being left. This is the stillness of being held. I am unteaching you the poverty of orphan thinking and anointing your memory with new meaning. You are not the child left at the curb. You are the child tucked into shelter while the storm passes. You have not been benched. You have been built. You have not been sidelined. You have been safeguarded. And as you receive this, the hallway behind you will stop accusing you, and the door before you will stop intimidating you. Come, step closer into truth. Release the false story and receive me. I am near in the quiet. I am nearer than your breath. I always have been. Now, my child, stay close, closer than you have been in a long time, because you have arrived at a sacred crossing point, and I am not saying this to stir panic in you. I am saying this to steady you. The hour of silence is closing, and the hour of guidance is opening. The season where you strain to interpret every quiet moment like a thread is ending, and a season where my direction becomes clearer, cleaner, calmer, unmistakable is beginning. You can feel it, even if you cannot yet explain it. You can sense the air changing around your prayers. You can sense the pressure shifting, not because life suddenly became easy, but because your spirit is stepping into alignment with my timing. Listen to me. This is not the place to look back and renegotiate what I already redeemed. This is not the moment to stand in the doorway and argue with your future using yesterday's bruises as evidence. This is the threshold where the old narrative tries one last time to grab your ankle. Nothing changes. It will delay again. You will be disappointed again. You will be left again. And I am here to break that grip with truth. You are not walking into an opening alone. You are walking with me. And if I have brought you to the door, then I have also prepared you to pass through it. There is an opening before you, beloved, a door I have unlocked. Not a door you must pry open with exhaustion. Not a door you must earn by shrinking. Not a door you must manipulate with endless explaining. I have turned the key. I have loosened what was stuck. I have arranged what had to align. And I am teaching you how to walk through without dragging the weight of yesterday across the threshold like a chain. Because some of you have learned to enter new rooms while still bracing for impact. Still rehearsing loss. Still apologizing for taking up space. Still scanning faces for signs that love will turn on you. Hear me, those coping skills kept you in the hallway, but they will not lead you well through the door. I am not opening this to watch you limp inside. I am opening this so you can stand upright as a child who is kept. So adjust your posture with me right now. Lift your chin without arrogance. Relax your shoulders without defensiveness. Release your jaw without fear. The posture of the old season was bracing. The posture of this season is receiving. The posture of delay was survival. The posture of doorway is surrender. Do not step forward with your fists closed around old questions. Do not step forward with your heart half shut, ready to run the moment something feels unfamiliar. Step forward with open hands. Step forward with teachability. Step forward at the speed of peace, because how you pass through matters as much as where you are going. If you carry suspicion into blessing, you will call kindness a trap. If you carry hurry into favor, you will confuse pressure for purpose. If you carry comparison into provision, you will never feel full. But if you carry my peace, if you carry my voice, then even in new territory, you will be anchored. Even in change, you will be guided. Even in expansion, you will be safe. I am not only opening a door, I am opening your hearing. Some of you have said, I just want to know what to do. I just want clarity. I just want one clean answer. And I tell you, my child, the clarity is coming, but it will not come the way your anxiety demands. Anxiety wants a map for the next 10 years so it can pretend it is God. But I lead with a lamp for your next step, because relationship is the point and trust is the bridge. I will guide you, not by shouting over your life, but by settling within it. The guidance you are about to receive will be quieter than your fear, but stronger than your fear. It will come with a steadiness that does not need to prove itself. It will come with confirmation that repeats in gentle ways, through counsel that carries my character, through timing that cannot be faked, through peace that remains even when the step is bold. And hear me carefully. This door does not open to the version of you that is still begging to be chosen by people who could not hold you. This door opens to the version of you that knows you are already chosen by me. That is why your healing has mattered. That is why the waiting was not wasted. That is why I would not allow you to force what looked like progress. I was not only protecting what you would do, I was protecting who you would become. Because the next room requires a different self. Not louder, not harder, not more performative, just more rooted. Rooted in my love, rooted in your identity, rooted in the truth that you do not have to earn what I have already decided to give. So I am warning you with tenderness. Do not stand at this threshold and let old disappointment become your counselor. Do not let the memory of what did not work out become the filter for what I am doing now. I know the bruise. I know the sting of the times you tried, the times you hoped, the times you finally let yourself believe and then it slipped. I know how that taught your heart to hesitate. But I am the healer at the door, not the accuser behind you. I am the Father in front of you, not the voice that betrayed you. And I will not ask you to pretend you were not hurt. I will ask you to bring the hurt to me so it does not steer you. Give me the bruise, and I will give you bravery. Give me the disappointment, and I will give you discernment. Give me the fear of being late, and I will give you the confidence of being led. Stay with me through the end, my precious one. Do not leave this moment early. Do not rush away when your spirit is finally being steadied, because in the final prayer, I am going to lay my hand upon your timeline. I am going to touch the places you have stared at with grief and call them redeemed. I am going to release clarity where confusion has lived and courage where hesitation has camped. I am going to quiet the inner noise that has made you second-guess every green light and dread every pause. And you will rise from that prayer with a different kind of readiness, not the frantic readiness that tries to control outcomes, but the holy readiness that trusts my voice. You are standing at a sacred threshold. The hallway behind you will not define you. The door before you will not intimidate you. This is the moment your waiting becomes wisdom. Your silence becomes sensitivity. Your delay becomes direction. Breathe, my child. Hold steady. Look at me. I am here. And when you move, you will not move as one abandoned, but as one led, kept, cherished, chosen, and taught how to walk into what I have prepared without dragging yesterday into tomorrow. Now, my child, because you are standing so close to the door, I will not leave you guessing about how I lead you when the timing feels slow, when the answer seems to stretch, when the waiting tries to speak louder than my voice. I am not a God who toys with you. I do not dangle destiny like bait and then laugh at your reach. I guide you like a father guides a child near a road firm enough to stop you, gentle enough to hold you, clear enough to keep you from stepping into what would wound you. Listen carefully, and let this become simple in you again. When I remove peace, it is not because I am angry with you. It is because I am steering you away from danger you cannot see yet. When the path in front of you looks right on paper, looks impressive to people, looks like it would quiet your insecurity, but your spirit feels scraped raw, tight, hurried, confused, restless, hear me. That is not you being too sensitive. That is not you being too broken. That is me, withdrawing peace like a guardrail, saying, "Stop, beloved," not because you are unworthy, but because I am unwilling to watch you pay for something with your soul. The loss of peace is a stop sign. Do not decorate it with excuses. Do not call it weakness. Do not argue with it. Respect it. I am protecting you. And when I flood you with peace, my child, I am not merely making you comfortable. I am anchoring you in destiny. There is a kind of rest that comes even when the step is big. There is a quiet steadiness that settles on you, even when your mind cannot calculate every outcome. There is a calm courage that rises without adrenaline, without frantic proving, without the need to perform for approval. That is holy rest. That is a green light. Not because everything will be effortless, but because I will be with you in it, and you will be able to breathe while you build, to love while you lead, to stay tender while you expand. When it is mine, you will not have to violate your conscience to keep it. You will not have to betray your boundaries to sustain it. You will not have to become someone you do not recognize just to survive it. So I am teaching you the language of delays, because delay is not always wait the way you think. Sometimes delay is me saying, not that way. Sometimes delay is me saying, not with them. Sometimes delay is me saying, not at that price. Sometimes delay is me saying, not yet. Because your heart needs to be steadier, your motives need to be cleaner, your nervous system needs to be quieter, your discernment needs to be sharper, and I will often speak it first through your peace. You will feel a friction you cannot explain. You will feel a heaviness that does not lift. You will feel yourself forcing what used to flow, and I am telling you now, do not call that faith. Faith does not feel like frenzy. Faith does not feel like you have to outrun me to prove you trust me. Faith can wait. Faith can breathe. Faith can obey the stop sign without shame. And because I know how easily you can be pulled by voices around you, I confirm my direction in more than one way. I do not lead you by flattery. I do not guide you by hype. I do not speak through the pressure of people who love what you can provide more than they love who you are. My confirmations are clean. They are consistent. They are quiet enough to require nearness, but strong enough to hold you when the room is loud. I will whisper, and then I will whisper again. I will say it in your spirit, and then I will echo it through wise counsel, counsel that carries my character, counsel that does not manipulate you, counsel that does not rush you to serve their timeline. I will send you people who are not intoxicated by your potential, but faithful with your heart. People who can celebrate you without steering you. People who can tell you the truth without needing control. I will confirm through steady voices, not frantic ones, through wisdom, not through urgency, through fruit, not through fireworks. So, test what you hear. If it demands that you abandon your communion to maintain your momentum, it is not me. If it tells you that you must compromise to be chosen, it is not me. If it insists you must move now or be nothing, it is not me. I am not the author of panic. I am the Prince of Peace. And do not misunderstand me. Peace is not the absence of responsibility. Peace is the presence of my leadership. Peace is what happens when your next step agrees with my heart. When I am in it, even your stretching will be steady. Even your learning will be covered. Even your risk will be held. And hear this, my precious one, because this will keep you safe. My word will not contradict itself. I will not tell you in one breath to walk in integrity and in another breath to cut corners. I will not call you to love and then authorize you to use people. I will not teach you patience and then demand you trample others to get ahead. When the path is mine, the heartbeat of Scripture and the peace in your spirit will agree, not because you are earning a sign, but because I am consistent. My character does not shift with your fear. My truth does not bend to match your impatience. The same voice that calls you beloved also calls you holy. The same hand that opens doors also closes traps. The same Father who comforts you also corrects you. And my correction is not condemnation. It is direction. So when you are facing a delay, do not only ask, when? Ask me, what are you saying through this? Ask me, is this a stop sign or a strengthening? Ask me, am I restless because I am disobeying peace, or am I restless because I am resisting rest? And then watch what happens when you obey what you already know. Watch what happens when you stop chasing what drains you. Watch what happens when you step back from what looks impressive but costs you your breath. Watch what happens when you choose the decision that leaves you able to pray, able to sleep, able to love, able to be present. I will meet you there. I will clarify as you honor peace. I will speak louder as you stop drowning me out with urgency. Let this be your practice, my child. When you feel rushed, pause and come to me. When you feel pressured, check your peace. When you feel confused, return to my word, and let it tune you like an instrument. When you feel flattered into a yes, wait for wisdom. When you feel yourself striving to make something happen, release it back into my hands and see if peace returns. Because I do not guide you into bondage and call it blessing. I guide you into freedom and teach you how to keep it. Delay is direction. Loss of peace is a stop sign. Holy rest is a green light. And I am teaching you, right now, to read the signs not with fear, but with trust, because I am not trying to keep you from good. I am keeping you for what is truly yours. Now, my child, because you have learned to read the signs, I will not leave you with information while your heart is still inflamed. Some of you can repeat the right words. Delay is direction. Peace is a stop sign. Rest is a green light, but there is a sore place underneath that still aches when you remember what you thought would happen by now. There is a bruise of disappointment you have kept guarded, not because you are faithless, but because you are tired of hoping with your whole chest and then having to gather yourself again in the quiet. You learned to protect that tender place by acting fine, by staying busy, by spiritualizing your pain, by calling numbness maturity. But I did not bring you to the threshold just to give you steps. I brought you here to heal the one who will take them. And hear me, when you let me see you, I heal you. When you stop hiding the sore place, I touch it without hurting you. When you stop performing strength, I give you real strength, the kind that can be soft and still steady. So, come closer. Do not clean this up for me. Do not edit your story as if I cannot handle the truth of what you felt. I saw the moment your expectation cracked. I saw the day you smiled for other people, and then sat alone with that sinking thought, maybe it won't happen for me. I heard the prayers that sounded more like whispers because your voice was tired of lifting itself, and I have not been offended by your disappointment. I have been reaching for it. You were not meant to carry that bruise as a badge, and you were not meant to build your future while wincing every time timing is mentioned. Bring it into my light now. Let me put my hand where you have been flinching. Let me be gentle where life was abrupt. Let me be faithful where people were inconsistent. Let me be the safe place where you can finally admit that hurt, without fearing that your honesty will disqualify you. And as I touch this wound, I am asking you to release something that has quietly been poisoning your peace. Bitterness toward the timeline. Not anger that passes through like weather, but the settled resentment that says, I lost years. I was overlooked. I was delayed. I was cheated. My child, I understand the grief of time. I understand the ache of watching others move while you felt paused. But bitterness will not protect you. It will only make you suspicious of the very door I am opening. Bitterness turns guidance into argument. Bitterness turns a green light into a debate. And it is heavy. Beloved, too heavy to carry into your next season. Your clock is not your God. Your calendar is not your master. Your age is not the authority over your life. I am. And I do not redeem you on a schedule that proves you to people. I redeem you in a way that preserves you for what is truly yours. There are delays you called loss that I called mercy. There are not yets you called humiliation that I called protection. There are routes I refused to bless because they would have demanded you become someone you were never meant to be, just to keep what you gained. I did not withhold to mock you. I withheld to rescue you. I did not pause your story to punish you. I paused it to keep you from stepping into a room where the foundation was brittle, and the cost would have been your peace. So let go, my child, not of desire, but of hurry, not of hope, but of control, not of the promise, but of the pressure. Some of you have been gripping timing so tightly that your hands have cramped, and you have called that cramp discernment. But it is anxiety wearing spiritual language. I am not shaming you, I am freeing you, because healing makes room for guidance. Tenderness makes room for clarity. When the bruise is soothed, you can hear me again without static. When the disappointment is released, you can receive instruction without resistance. When you stop worshiping the when, you will recognize the now when it arrives. Breathe with me, beloved. Slow down your inner storm and let my peace become your pace. Inhale, and as you breathe in, say, "You rescued me." Not because you understand every detail, but because you trust my heart. Not because you can see every reason, but because you can feel my hand. Inhale, "You rescued me." And now exhale, and as you breathe out, say, "I release my hurry." Exhale the tension. Exhale the frantic bargaining. Exhale the exhausting need to prove that you are not behind. Exhale the pressure you absorbed from other people's expectations. Inhale, "You rescued me." Exhale, "I release my hurry." Again, my child. Inhale, "You rescued me." Exhale, "I release my hurry." Let your body learn what your spirit is receiving. You are safe. You are not late. You are led. And I am doing something holy as you breathe, yes. Even now, I am loosening the grip of comparison. I am softening the hard edge that disappointment sharpened in you. I am taking the sting out of certain memories so they no longer dictate your decisions. I am lifting the heaviness that made you dread hope, because I will not merely give you a door, I will give you the heart that can walk through it without sabotaging it. I will not simply give you an opportunity, I will give you the inner wholeness to steward it. I will not just move you forward, I will heal what made you afraid to move at all. Now, partner with me in a simple act of agreement, my precious one, because your tongue can become a doorway. If you are ready to release the old interpretation, if you are ready to stop calling delay a verdict, then write this as your declaration. Write it where others can see it, not to perform, but to agree. The delay was my rescue. Let it be a stake in the ground. Let it be a testimony seed. Let it be your yes to my tenderness and your no to the bitterness that has tried to settle in your chest. The delay was my rescue. And as you agree with me, feel the bruise begin to soften. Feel the guarded place begin to open. Feel your heart become teachable again, hopeful again, steady again. You do not have to outrun time to be loved. You do not have to force a door to be chosen. You do not have to punish yourself for what did not happen when you wanted it. I am here, and I am healing you in the place you thought you had to hide. Let go of the timeline to receive the tenderness. Make room, my child, because guidance flows best through a heart that is no longer bleeding from yesterday. Now, my child, because your heart is opening again, I am going deeper than comfort. I am going to your name, because the enemy did not only try to delay your doors, he tried to rename you in the waiting. He tried to take the quiet seasons and stitch false sentences into your soul until you wore them like skin. Overlooked, behind, forgotten, too late, not enough, not chosen. And you have repeated those words in your own voice so many times that you began to believe they were yours. But I am speaking to you now with tenderness and authority. Those labels were never your identity. They were a temporary lie attached to a painful moment. And I, the Lord your God, am stripping the label from every lie that has tried to cling to you. Come closer and listen, because I am not asking you to try harder. I am telling you who you are. I am reaching into the seams of those old sentences, into the places shame hid itself, into the places disappointment left a mark, and I am pulling them out thread by thread. Overlooked is not your name. Behind is not your name. Forgotten is not your name. You were not passed over. You were preserved. You were not left out. You were set apart. You were not late. You were aligned. And I know this feels too simple for what you have endured, but truth often is simple. It is just louder than lies when you finally let it be. My child, stop treating your story like a disqualification. Stop holding your scars up as evidence that you must not be trusted with more. Stop pointing to the detours, the closed doors, the relationships that did not hold you, the opportunities that slipped, and concluding, this must mean I am not the one. Hear me, your story is not a disqualification. It is a qualification sealed by redemption. The very places where you thought you were losing are the places where I was building discernment in you. The very seasons where you thought you were invisible are the seasons where I was strengthening what people could not applaud. The very delays you feared were making you safe to carry what is coming without breaking under it. And I want you to feel this, not just understand it, because some of you have been living as if you must earn my attention, as if you must perform well enough to be chosen. But you do not become chosen when the door opens. You were chosen before you ever knocked. You were loved before you ever proved. You were mine before you ever got it right. I saw you when no one clapped. I heard you when your prayers were more sigh than sentence. I held you when you smiled in public and collapsed in private. And I am telling you now, you are not an afterthought. You are not a backup plan. You are not someone I will remember when I have time. You are my beloved, and my love is not delayed. So let the identity reversal happen right now, my precious one. Let it be immediate. Let it be holy. Where shame used to sit on your shoulders and make you shrink, I place dignity. Where comparison used to tighten your chest and make you rush, I place peace. Where the memory of being overlooked made you over-explain, over-give, overwork, and over-compromise, I place a new steadiness that does not beg. Because chosen people do not have to hustle for belonging. Chosen people do not have to audition for love. Chosen people do not have to chase what drains them just to feel valuable. When you know you are chosen, you can wait without panic, move without striving, speak without fear, and say no without guilt. And I am correcting something gently in you. You have been calling alignment lateness, because you have been measuring your life by other people's calendars. You have been watching timelines that were never assigned to you, and then punishing yourself for not matching them. But I did not design you to live by comparison. I designed you to live by calling, and the pace I chose for you was not to embarrass you, it was to protect you. The timing I set was not to deny you, it was to prepare you. I was not holding you back from life. I was holding you in my hand until the right life could hold you. So, say it with me, my child, and let your spirit agree even if your feelings are still catching up. Say, I am loved. Say, I am chosen. Say, I am not late. Say, I am aligned. Do not whisper it like you are unsure. I mean it. Speak it like someone who is finally taking off an old coat that never fit. Speak it like someone stepping out of a cell that was unlocked the whole time. Speak it like someone who has survived enough to know that my hand has been on them even when they could not see it. And as you wear this truth where shame once lived, you will notice something change. You will stop entering rooms apologizing for existing. You will stop shrinking your dreams to fit people who fear your growth. You will stop calling yourself forgotten when I have been faithful every step. You will stop treating delay like a verdict and start seeing it as evidence that I cared too much to let you rush into what would have wounded you. Chosen is your true name. Beloved is your true name. Kept is your true name. And now, with this name on your heart, you will recognize the right door when it opens, not because it flatters you, but because it aligns with who you are becoming in me. Stay with me, my child. Let this identity settle like oil on your spirit, because the next steps I will give you require you to move as the chosen one, not as the overlooked one. And I will not send you forward wearing shame like armor. I am dressing you in truth. I am restoring your posture. I am placing my yes on your life again, not a frantic yes, not a pressured yes, but a settled, protected, redeemed yes. You are loved. You are chosen. You are not late. You are aligned. Now, my child, because you are beginning to stand in your true name, I am not going to leave you at the threshold with only feelings. I will give you strategy, because I do not open doors to watch you panic at the frame. I do not unlock what is mine for you, and then demand you figure it out alone. Listen to me closely, and do not rush through this like a person who is still afraid that time will run out. When I open the right door, I also provide the way to walk through it. And the way is simple enough for the humble, but it is hidden from the frantic. Listen, align, and act, not at the speed of pressure, not at the speed of comparison, at the speed of peace. First, listen. My child, stop making decisions only with your mind and calling it wisdom. Stop letting anxiety be the loudest voice in the room and calling it discernment. When I am highlighting the door, I will make it clear in the language you have been learning. Peace, clarity, clean conviction. It may not be dramatic, but it will be steady. I will draw your attention again and again to what carries my breath. You will notice that certain opportunities keep returning with purity, without manipulation, without the need for you to compromise your values to qualify. You will sense a quiet pull that does not flatter your ego, but steadies your spirit. And I will speak yes. I will speak through the stillness you have been avoiding. So listen in the morning before the day starts demanding you. Listen in the small pauses you usually fill with noise. Listen when you feel yourself reaching for distraction. Because I am not hiding the door from you, beloved. I am training you to hear me over the roar of urgency. And when you listen, I will not merely show you what to do, I will show you what to ignore. Some things will glitter, but they will not carry grace. Some doors will look grand, but they will require you to become a smaller version of yourself to fit. Some invitations will be loud, but they will be empty. Do not confuse volume for anointing. Do not confuse applause for alignment. I will highlight the door that is mine, and it will not demand that you betray your peace to enter. It will not require you to beg. It will not require you to shrink your conscience. It will not require you to perform pain to prove you deserve it. The door I open will feel like home to the person you are becoming in me. Second, align. This is where many of my children stumble, not because they do not love me, but because they want new rooms while keeping old rhythms. Hear me. You cannot drag yesterday's exhaustion into tomorrow's assignment and call it strength. You cannot bring survival habits into a season that requires stewardship. Some of you have been living on adrenaline so long that you think exhaustion is normal, that burnout is the cost of destiny, that rest is laziness. But I am correcting you with love. Rest is not laziness. Rest is equipment. Rest is how I keep your heart soft and your mind clear. Rest is how I keep you able to hear me when the room gets loud. Rest is how I keep you from building something holy with a body that is breaking. So align your habits under heaven's pace. If I am opening a door, I am also inviting you into a new way of moving. Begin to order your days with me, not around your fear. Return to what restores you. Prayer that is honest, not performed. Sleep that is protected, not stolen. Boundaries that are respected, not apologized for. Close the small leaks that have been draining you. Endless scrolling that numbs you. Conversations that confuse you. Commitments that were made from guilt instead of calling. Align your mouth too, my child. Stop speaking as if you are bracing for disappointment. Stop narrating your life like someone I have forgotten. Let your words agree with the truth I have put on you, chosen, kept, aligned, led. When your inner life aligns with my pace, the door will not just open. You will have the strength to remain in what I give you. And in this alignment, I will often lead you into humility before visibility. Do not despise it. Do not argue with it. Prefer the humble hallway over the grand stage if I breathe on it. Because destiny often begins where ego ends. Many of the things I have prepared for you will start quietly, an unseen conversation, a small responsibility, a simple yes that no one claps for. And your flesh will say, this is too small, but my spirit will say, this is safe. Your pride will say, this is beneath you, but my love will say, this is where you learn to carry weight without needing witnesses. The hallway is not a demotion, it is a covering. The hallway is where I teach you faithfulness without applause. The hallway is where I teach you to value my presence more than people's recognition. And when you can walk with me there, you will be ready for rooms that are larger without losing yourself inside them. Third act, my child, when I say move, do not bargain with me. Do not keep one foot in the old season just in case. Do not ask for 10 more signs when I have already given you peace. There is a moment when listening becomes disobedience because it is fear disguised as caution. There is a moment when preparation becomes procrastination because you are trying to control the outcome. When the door is mine and the timing is right, step. Not recklessly, peacefully, not loudly, obediently, not to prove yourself because you trust me. Act at the speed of peace. That means you do not sprint ahead of me and you do not freeze behind me. You move with me, shoulder to shoulder, breath to breath. If peace remains as you step, continue. If peace withdraws as you press, pause. I am not trying to confuse you. I am teaching you to walk like a child who knows the Father is near, and if you stumble, you are not disqualified. If you learn as you go, you are not behind. I am with you in the doing, not only in the dreaming. I will correct you without crushing you. I will redirect you without shaming you. The door is not a test meant to trap you. It is a gift meant to bless you. So hear me now, my precious one. Listen, and I will highlight the door. Align, and your life will match the weight of what I am giving. Act, and you will step through without bargaining, without panic, without dragging chains into a room I opened for freedom. You are not late, you are led. and the pace I am calling you into is not the pace of the world, it is the pace of peace. Now, my child, do not rush past this moment as if understanding is the same as transformation. You have heard me. You have felt the truth settle on you. You have been given the way to walk, listen, align, act, and now I am bringing you to the place where doors truly change. Not merely in your circumstances, but in your agreement. Because surrender is the hinge. Surrender is the holy turn where delay stops feeling like a sentence and becomes a doorway. So come with me now. Quiet the inner noise. Loosen your shoulders, unclench your hands, and pray with me, not as a ritual, not as performance, but as a child placing their whole life back into the Father's hands. Say it with your own mouth, my precious one, because your mouth has carried fear long enough, and now it will carry faith. Your mouth has rehearsed worst-case scenarios long enough, and now it will rehearse my heart. Pray, Father, I surrender my pace. I surrender my plans. I surrender my pain. I surrender the part of me that has tried to outrun the ache by staying busy. I surrender the part of me that has tried to control outcomes so I would never have to feel disappointment again. I surrender the part of me that has been bargaining. If you do it this way, then I will trust you, and I lay that bargaining down at your feet. I do not want to be driven. I want to be led. I do not want to be pressured. I want to be peaceful. I do not want to chase doors that are not mine. I want the door you have for me, in the timing you have chosen. With the heart you are healing. And pray this, my child, slowly, sincerely. Father, thank you for every door you closed to protect me. Thank you for every not yet that was mercy. Thank you for every interruption that kept me from attaching myself to brittle foundations. Thank you for the relationships you did not allow to continue, for the deals you would not bless, for the rooms that looked right but would have cost me my peace. Thank you that you loved me enough to say no when I was begging for yes. And Father, forgive me for calling your rescue rejection. Forgive me for taking your protection personally. Forgive me for assuming silence meant absence. Forgive me for measuring your goodness by my calendar. Forgive me for agreeing with the lie that delay meant I was overlooked. Today I repent of that false story. I release that old interpretation. I receive the truth. You were not punishing me. You were rescuing me. Now bring your honest heart to me, beloved, and do not hide the tender places. Pray, Father, heal my disappointment. Heal the bruise that flinches when I dare to hope. Heal the memory that keeps replaying what I thought would happen by now. Heal the places where I have become guarded, suspicious, and tired from waiting. Heal the part of me that smiles in public but sinks in private. Heal what I have tried to manage alone. Touch the places I avoided because I was afraid. You would be disappointed in me for feeling disappointed. But you are gentle, you are near, so I let you in. I let you see me. I let you hold what I could not carry. And I receive your tenderness where life has been abrupt. I receive your faithfulness where people have been inconsistent. I receive your peace where my mind has been loud. And pray this, my child, because I am teaching you a new way to walk. Father, teach my heart your rhythm. Teach my mind the pace of peace. Teach my body holy rest without guilt. Teach me to recognize when you are saying, wait, not as delay that shames me, but as wisdom that shields me. Teach me to listen without panic, to align without striving, to act without bargaining. Give me courage to wait when you whisper, wait. Give me courage to move when you say, now. Make me quick to obey and slow to fear. Make me faithful in the hallway so I will be steady in the room. Make me humble before visibility so I will not lose myself when you lift me. Make me rooted so I do not need applause to know I am loved. Now, my precious one, come into full agreement with what I have spoken over your timeline. Pray. Father, I receive your timing, not my rushed timing, not the timing people demanded, not the timing that would have made me look impressive while leaving me empty. I receive your timing, the timing that preserves me, prepares me, and positions me. I receive your peace as my green light. I receive your peace as my boundary. I receive your peace as my confirmation. I will not force what requires compromise. I will not chase what drains me. I will not call anxious striving wisdom anymore. I will not call numbness maturity anymore. I choose the pace of peace. I choose the path of alignment. I choose obedience over urgency. I choose trust over control. And now, my child, seal it with gratitude, because gratitude breaks the back of bitterness. Pray, thank you, Father, that nothing was wasted. Thank you that you can redeem time. Thank you that you can restore years. Thank you that you have been working even when I could not see it. Thank you that you are opening the right door, and you are also giving me the heart to walk through it without sabotaging it. Thank you that I am not late. Thank you that I am led. Thank you that I am chosen. Thank you that I am kept. Thank you that I am safe in your hands. Breathe now, and let your spirit rest under this truth. Surrender turns delay into doorway. Your agreement invites alignment. So receive this, beloved, and speak it plainly as a child who trusts the Father's love. I surrender. I receive. I will follow. In Jesus' name, Amen. Now, my child, do not let this moment end with tears that were only felt and never spoken into agreement. Because I did not bring you this far just to comfort you, I brought you here to put language back in your mouth. There are seasons when you must pray, and there are seasons when you must declare. There are moments when silence is holy, and there are moments when silence becomes surrender to the wrong story. So listen to me closely, beloved, and do not be timid with your own tongue, because your tongue was never meant to only describe your life, it was meant to align your life with what I have spoken. I have watched you rehearse disappointment until it sounded like wisdom. I have watched you speak fear as if it were realism. I have watched you say, "It's probably not going to happen," to protect yourself from hoping again. But I am healing you, and as I heal you, I am retraining your mouth, because when you speak what I speak, heaven recognizes agreement. When you declare what I declare, your spirit stands up straighter. When you refuse the old narrative and choose my truth aloud, something in the atmosphere shifts, something in you settles, and the enemy loses the leverage he gained through your weariness. So I am telling you, do not just think these words, say them. Say it now, my precious one, and let it be simple and strong. The delay was my rescue. The closed door was my protection. Say it again, slowly, until your heart stops flinching. The delay was my rescue. The closed door was my protection. You are not explaining away your pain, you are redeeming your interpretation. You are not pretending it didn't hurt, you are refusing to call my love cruelty. You are putting a new name on an old season, and that new name will keep you from running back to what I saved you from. Now declare this, beloved, because you have been tempted to force what I told you to trust. The right doors open to me in due season. I will not force, I will be led. Say it with me. The right doors open to me in due season. I will not force, I will be led. I will not kick down doors out of panic. I will not negotiate my peace to be chosen by people. I will not chase what requires compromise. I will not manipulate outcomes to avoid waiting. I will not call pressure guidance. I will be led. I will be led by my peace. I will be led by my presence. I will be led by my wisdom. I will be led. And now, my child, speak against the invisible weights you have been carrying, the comparisons, the deadlines, the by now voices that have haunted you in the night. Declare, walls of false timelines fall now. Say it with authority, because I am with you. Walls of false timelines fall now. The calendar that people use to shame you will not govern you. The age, the stage, the highlight reels, the family expectations, the old benchmarks you absorbed without realizing it, those are not your master. I am your father. I am your shepherd. I am the one who orders your steps. So declare it again. Walls of false timelines fall now. And with those walls falling, you will feel your chest loosen. You will feel your mind quiet. You will feel your shoulders drop, because you were never meant to live as if love has an expiration date. Now declare what will govern you from this day forward, because I am not giving you a breakthrough you cannot sustain. Say, peace governs my steps. Purpose carries my weight. Peace governs my steps. Purpose carries my weight. Not adrenaline, not anxiety, not the fear of being forgotten. Peace will govern my yes. Peace will govern my no. Peace will govern my pace. And purpose, my purpose will carry what you used to carry alone. You have been trying to hold your future with human strength, and that is why you have been so tired. But I am lifting the weight of self-salvation off of you. I am teaching you to move with me, and when you move with me, you do not break under the burden, because I am the one who sustains what I assign. Now, my beloved, declare the identity that will keep you steady when the door opens and when the hallway feels long. Speak it plainly, without apology. I am not late. I am loved, prepared, and sent. Say it again until it becomes your reflex. I am not late. I am loved, prepared, and sent. You are not an accident trying to catch up. You are not a mistake trying to be tolerated. You are not behind the people you envy. You are not disqualified because you took the scenic route. You are loved. Loved when you were waiting. Loved when you were confused. Loved when you were hidden. Loved when you were tired. Prepared in the delay. Strengthened in the silence. Protected in the no. And sent, not shoved, not rushed, not thrown. Sent in due season, with the oil of heaven on your obedience. And now, my child, I want you to declare this final line like you mean it, because this is where fear loses its grip. I will not rush what requires roots. I will not despise the process that made me safe. I will not apologize for my timing. I will not panic in the hallway. I will not sabotage the room. I will walk through the right door with a whole heart. I will arrive without striving. I will carry blessing without breaking. I will hold visibility with humility. I will steward what I prayed for. Your tongue partners with heaven, beloved. When you speak life, you water what I planted. When you speak truth, you cut the ropes of old stories. When you declare my words over your timeline, you stop agreeing with the enemy's interpretations and you start agreeing with my heart. So keep these declarations near you. Put them on your lips in the morning. Put them in the middle of your day when anxiety tries to rise. Put them on your mouth at night when memories try to accuse you. And as you speak, you will feel peace returning, clarity sharpening, and courage standing up in you again, because you are not late. You are loved. You are prepared. You are sent. Now, my beloved, do not let these words be a moment that touches you and then slips away like water through open fingers. I did not speak to you just to stir your heart. I spoke to build armor on your mind, because I know how the enemy works. He cannot always stop the door I open, so he tries to make you forget what I said when the hallway gets quiet again. He tries to make you reinterpret my rescue as rejection the next time waiting presses on you. He tries to bring you back to counterfeit doors by making you romanticize the rooms I delivered you from. So listen to me closely, my child, because this is wisdom that will keep you steady. Remembering is spiritual armor. Today, yes, today write down your rescue. Do not delay this and say, I'll remember. My precious one, you will remember the feeling, but feelings shift when pressure rises. So I am asking you for something simple and holy. Open a journal, open a note, take a page, and write what I revealed to you. Write the closed doors that used to confuse you, and name them correctly now. Protection. Write the delays that used to shame you, and name them correctly now. Preparation. Write the moment you realized you were not being punished, you were being rescued. Put it in words. Not because I forget, but because you need a witness against future misreading. There will be a day when impatience tries to speak with authority, when anxiety tries to rewrite the story, when someone else's timeline tries to accuse you, and in that day, you will have something to point to that is not emotion, not memory haze, not fear, truth written down, testimony inked into the record of your life. And as you write, I want you to be specific, beloved. Write what I kept you from. Write what I would not let you settle for. Write the red flags you didn't see then, but you can see now. Write the moments you almost forced what would have fractured you. Write the ways I sustained you when you thought you were running out of strength. Because when you name what I did, you stop returning to what I saved you from. You stop knocking on doors that looked right but carried brittle foundations. You stop entertaining invitations that require you to shrink. Remembrance keeps your discernment sharp. Remembrance keeps your heart loyal to my wisdom. Remembrance keeps you from trading the peace you have now for the familiar pain you used to call normal. Now, my child, mark your calendar with gratitude. I am not talking about a vague someday. I am talking about a stone of memory, a marker you can touch when your mind starts racing again. Choose this date, this season, this turning in your understanding, and write one sentence. This was the day I stopped calling rescue rejection. Write it plainly. Put it where you will see it. Because there will be a week ahead when nothing looks dramatic on the outside. When you are tempted to believe nothing is happening, when silence feels like empty space again, and on that day, you will look at that mark and remember, I have spoken. I have been faithful. I have been guiding you even when it is quiet. Gratitude is not a decoration. Beloved, it is an anchor. Gratitude keeps you from drifting back into accusation when the wind changes. And I want you to practice gratitude like a weapon, my precious one, not as a performance. When you feel impatience rising, return to that marker and say, Father, thank you that you rescued me. Thank you that you protected me. Thank you that you did not let me rush into what would have cost me my peace. This is how you retrain your nervous system to trust me. This is how you teach your body that waiting is not danger when I am the one who is leading. This is how you keep the bruise of disappointment from turning into a lifestyle of skepticism. The enemy wants you to treat delay like evidence that I will fail you, but gratitude keeps you connected to evidence that I have carried you again and again, even when you could not see the full picture. And now, beloved, do not carry your testimony alone. Share your small wins with a trusted friend, someone safe, someone rooted, someone who will not rush you, someone who will not compete with you, someone who will not poison what I am growing in you. Tell them, this is what God showed me. This is what He reframed. This is what I am choosing to believe. This is the door I am no longer chasing. This is the peace I am protecting, because testimony multiplies clarity. When you speak what I have done, you hear it again with fresh faith. When you tell it to someone who loves you, you build a wall against isolation, and isolation is where old narratives grow loud. I am not calling you to announce everything to everyone. I am calling you to plant testimony seeds in good soil, where they will grow into confidence, into patience, into courage. My child, this is how you integrate. You write it, you mark it, you share it, you turn a moment into a memorial, you turn a feeling into a foundation, you turn a revelation into a rhythm. And the next time your mind tries to sprint ahead, the next time comparison taps you on the shoulder, the next time an old door calls your name with familiar temptation, you will not be defenseless. You will have armor. You will have record. You will have witnesses. You will have remembrance. So do not move on too quickly, beloved. Plant these testimony seeds now, while your spirit is tender and awake, because I am not only opening doors, I am building you into a person who will not misread my love again. And as you remember, you will stay aligned. As you remember, you will stay grateful. As you remember, you will stay free. Now, my beloved, stay with me for a moment longer. Do not let your mind run ahead to the next task, the next notification, the next demand. Let this be sealed. Let this be settled. Because I am not only speaking to you, I am placing something upon you. I am not only reminding you, I am changing the way your heart beats in the middle of waiting. I am not only comforting you, I am commissioning you with a new steadiness. And I tell you plainly, with all the tenderness of my protection and all the authority of my hand, I will not let you leave this moment unchanged. So receive my peace now, my precious one. Receive it like a steadying hand upon your chest, firm enough to quiet the shaking, gentle enough to heal the bruise. I place my peace upon you, and anxious rhythms must yield to heaven's tempo. The racing thoughts that have been circling the same questions, the tightness that has lived in your shoulders, the vigilance that has made rest feel unsafe. Listen, those are not your master anymore. I am your Father. I am near. I am governing you with calm. I am teaching your nervous system that you are not in danger when I am the one leading. Breathe under my peace. Let it settle into the places you have held your breath for years. Let it be a new language in your body, safe, held, guided, loved. And now, my child, I release clarity over your decisions. Not confusion, not fog, not that exhausting second-guessing that makes you replay every conversation and overanalyze every step because you are terrified of missing it. I am not playing games with your future. I am not hiding my will behind riddles to punish you. I release clarity clean, gentle, firm clarity. Clarity that does not scream, but stands. Clarity that does not manipulate, but anchors. Clarity that makes the next right thing feel simple again. Some of you have been asking me, which way, what now, when, and I tell you, the light is coming on, the pieces are aligning. The door I have prepared will not require you to betray your peace to enter. And the choices that used to feel heavy with fear will begin to feel lighter because you will recognize the difference between pressure and presence, between urgency and obedience, between a loud opportunity and a holy assignment. And with clarity, I release courage to your feet. Not reckless courage, not prideful courage, not the kind that performs for applause, holy courage. the courage to step when I say, now. The courage to pause when I say, wait. The courage to say no without guilt. The courage to say yes without panic. The courage to move forward without dragging the old story behind you like a chain. You have hesitated because disappointment taught you to protect yourself by staying undecided. You have lingered in doorways because commitment felt like risk. But I am healing you, and as I heal you, hesitation gives way to holy confidence. Not confidence in your perfection, confidence in my presence. Not confidence in your control, confidence in my care. You will not be paralyzed by the fear of getting it wrong, because I am with you in the step. I correct without crushing. I guide without shaming. I carry without accusing. Listen closely, beloved, because I want you to know this is not imagination and it is not emptiness. Angels are mobilized on assignment for you. I have set the wheels of heaven in motion on your behalf. I am arranging what you could not arrange, aligning what you could not align, softening what you could not force, and closing what would have harmed you, even if it looked like a blessing. There are conversations you have not heard yet that will confirm what I have been whispering. There are timing shifts happening that you cannot see from where you stand, but I am already moving. I am already preparing the right meeting, the right window, the right support, the right provision. And I am doing it in such a way that you will not have to strive to keep it. What comes from me comes with grace to sustain it. What I open, I also protect. So as you leave this moment, my child, you do not leave with only emotion. You leave with peace for your heart. You leave with clarity for your path. You leave with courage for your next step. And I am asking you to carry it like something holy, not fragile, because it is not fragile. My peace is not a mood. My peace is a covering. My clarity is not a guess. My clarity is a gift. My courage is not personality. My courage is an impartation. And when the day tries to rush you again, when voices try to pressure you again, when memory tries to accuse you again, you will return to what I placed upon you here, steady, led, anchored. Now receive this blessing, my beloved. May your chest loosen under my hand. May your mind quiet under my voice. May your sleep be restored, and may your mornings no longer begin in dread. May your discernment sharpen, and may you recognize the door that carries my breath. May your yes be clean and your no be strong. May your steps be ordered, not hurried. May the right people find you, and may the wrong attachments lose their grip without drama. May the weight you have carried alone be lifted, and may you feel the strength of my shoulder beside you. I bless you with peace that stays. I bless you with clarity that guides. I bless you with courage that moves. And I say it again, so your heart believes it in the deepest place. You are not late. You are led. You are not being punished. You are being protected. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. And you will not leave this moment unchanged. Because I have put my peace upon you. I have released my clarity within you, and I have awakened my courage beneath your feet. Go now, my child, not with panic, not with striving, not with the old story on your tongue, but with my blessing resting on you, and with the next step made steady by my love. Now, my child, do not rush away from this moment as if what I gave you was only for you. I did not comfort you to end the story in private. I comforted you so you could become a carrier of comfort. I did not steady your heart just to give you relief. I steadied your heart so you could help steady another heart that is trembling in the dark. Because there is someone, even now, who believes I have forgotten them. There is someone who has stared at closed doors so long they have started to call it fate. There is someone who has been interpreting silence as punishment, and they are one scroll away from giving up, one night away from numbness, one more disappointment away from burying hope. And I am sending you as a witness that delay is not always denial, that closed doors are not always rejection, that my love is not proven by speed but by protection. So if this word rescued you, if it pulled you back from the edge of the wrong conclusion, if it put breath back in your spirit and peace back in your chest, then let your agreement be seen. Press like as your amen, not as a performance, not as a habit, but as a signal in the earth that says, yes, Lord, I receive what you have spoken. Because I will use even that simple act to place this message in front of the one who has been crying quietly, the one who has been asking, God, do you still see me? Let your amen become a lamp for them. Let your yes become a doorway for them. Do not underestimate what I can do with one obedient touch, one small agreement offered in faith. And my beloved, Stay close. Subscribe. Not because you are chasing content, but because you are choosing consistency. There are timely confirmations I will continue to place before you, on schedule, with precision. Because I am a father who knows how to keep his children anchored. Some of you have been living on random encouragement, searching for a word the way a thirsty soul searches for water, and I am telling you, I will meet you here again. I will remind you again. I will strengthen you again. Not to make you dependent, but to keep you aligned while the door finishes opening and while your heart finishes healing. Remain under what sharpens your discernment. Remain under what calls you back to peace. Remain under what teaches you my rhythm. And now, my child, do not keep this rescue to yourself. Share this with the one who is weary from closed doors, the one who keeps smiling but feels like they are running out of strength, the one who has been trying to stay faithful while secretly wondering if they missed their moment. Send it to the friend who has been rejected, the sibling who has been waiting, the mother who has been carrying the weight alone, the man who has been too proud to admit he is afraid, the woman who has been too tired to pray out loud. Let your share be a lifeline of hope. Let it be a gentle interruption in their day that says, you are not forgotten. You are being protected. You are being prepared. You are not spamming them. Beloved, you are stretching out a hand in the storm. And I want you to seal your agreement publicly, because there is power when you stop keeping your faith hidden behind your ribs. In the comments, declare it plainly, with a clean heart and a steady voice. The delay was my rescue. I trust your timing. Do not complicate it. Do not soften it. Do not whisper it like you are ashamed of hoping. Declare, the delay was my rescue. I trust your timing. And if you desire, leave your prayer request there as well, not because I am far and need a map, but because I am near, and I want you to stop carrying what you were never meant to carry alone. I am close to the brokenhearted. I do not flinch at your honesty. I do not punish you for your ache. Bring me the real request, the real fear, the real need, the real question, and watch how peace begins to enter simply because you brought it into the light. And as you write, know this, you are not writing into emptiness. You are placing your need before a father, and you are stepping into a community that will agree with you, pray with you, and hold faith when your hands feel weak. And listen to me closely, my precious one, because this is how I multiply rescue. When the door opens, when the answer manifests, when the right room receives you, when the timing proves itself wise, come back and update your testimony. Return and tell what I did. Return and mark the moment. Return and say, he was faithful. He protected me. He aligned me. He led me. Because your story will become someone else's map. Someone will read your words at 2 a.m. and realize they are not crazy for still believing. Someone will see your testimony and stop romanticizing the door I shut in their face. Someone will hear how I carried you and decide to breathe again. This is how I turn pain into provision for others. This is how I turn your hallway into a highway of hope for the one behind you. So join the rescue mission, beloved. Let your amen be seen. Let your share be love. Let your subscription be devotion to alignment. Let your comment be agreement. Let your prayer request be an act of trust. And let your testimony, when it comes, be a lighthouse for the still waiting. I am gathering a people who will not misread my love and who will not let others misread it either. And I will use you steady, led, anchored, to carry this rescue farther than you can imagine.